And now, here's the veteran voice of the legal fix, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Lone Star State in Montgomery County, Texas, for a brand new episode of The Legal Fix, a new age radio show presented by the Tough Law Firm, the toughest law firm in town, with the toughest lawyers around, answering your toughest legal questions. Introducing first, hosting out of the red corner, the big deal, Bruce Colson. Tough, joined by Boy Wonder, Brandon Scott Riley, and super lawyer, G.I. Jerome, the Golden Boy, Jeremy Lee Hall.
Hey, thank you, Bruce Buffer. Good to see you, man. And hey, good to see you guys. It's been a while.
Good to see you, the big deal, Bruce Tough. My goodness, special guest.
Yes, I'm
big
here.
Deal, Bruce
big
Tough.
Bruce Tough, the big deal's here with Boy Wonder, Brandon Riley, and Golden
Since
Boy,
he's been on
Jeremy
the show.
Hall. Yeah, how'd you guys
Return
been
from
doing with me
Scotland.
being gone? Yes, Scotland.
Been acting up.
I've been in Scotland.
Been acting up. The Boys Part 1 and Part 2
Yeah, how'd it go?
was pretty epic.
Was it?
We talked. We had a transgender person on the show while you were gone. We missed you for that.
I am okay. I'm okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah, that
watch
was
the
the
show.
test.
That's why you asked
That was
me.
the test.
He was like,
Ha-
yeah, I watched it.
Hey, this is me being Boy Wonder. Hey, Bruce, I've got a tough question for you.
Fire away.
On a scale of mildly uncomfortable
Right.
to buying internet to e-file the divorce papers, how was the flight?
Oh my gosh, flying is brutal, but we flew first class the whole way.
I saw some
So
pictures,
it was-
and the badge looked happy.
She
Looked
was
like
once she got
overjoyed.
once she got on the plane, she was thrilled.
Yeah.
She got on the plane. The apprehension of getting ready to go for 2 weeks, leave the office.
Oh my goodness!
Go to
Leave the animals.
The, have the animals, the kids, you got so many moving pieces, and probably the biggest concern was the house and the animals, and then I knew you guys would take care of the office, and you were in
kids,
good
yeah.
hands. But
Where did you fly to?
we flew to Edinburgh, and we got
Edinburgh.
to Edinburgh, and then we got picked up by my cousin Norman. We went into town.
How did that go?
It went okay. We took a bus. He
What
doesn't
color
even drive.
sweats was he wearing?
He was wearing gray. Soft gray sweats.
Knew
And
it.
then we went there. We went and had tea at the Balmoral. We had high tea at the Balmoral, right?
Okay,
Then
what's the significance of that?
Well, they have a high tea, and but it's like 55 pounds for sandwiches and cookies and all this tea, and if you want coffee, we
When
just
you
had
say
our
high
tea.
tea,
60
you don't
bucks.
mean like
It's an afternoon.
hallucinogenic
No, it's
tea.
like a 2
You mean
o'clock
like
afternoon tea where
high
people,
noon.
It's a time of
yeah,
day.
the girls get together and they
Great
do
Britain.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in fact, it's something that the Queen had a high tea.
That's
for
right.
The Queen, right?
And y'all
So-
are next door neighbors.
until she died.
Yeah, right,
Scotland.
right.
So
Scotland and
Edinburgh,
England.
where else did you end up?
We went to Dundee, which is north of Edinburgh, and then we went to St Andrews, where the old course is.
Did you go to Crocodile Dundee's?
We
museum?
did. We went. We didn't go to Crocodile Dundee, but we did the Queen's View, which is a park on the way up there, and it was a beautiful park,
Right.
and it was an old bridge that's built in the 1500s, and it's just the whole place is full of history. And then being on St Andrews, the golf course, and then we went to a Highland Games in St Andrews. The Highland Games is throwing the caber, throwing the stone,
caber
bagpipers,
toss.
racing, tug of war, like a real serious tug of war. Tug of war was a highlight of everything.
Yeah.
The tug of war in Scotland is for real. I mean, these guys, and it's all for money. Everybody
How'd
gets
your-
money winning.
Okay,
in
like the
kilts,
rodeo.
In kilt, it's like a rodeo.
How did
but
your kilt hold up?
I didn't wear the kilt, but
Okay.
I was definitely wearing my Scotland supporters football club shirt the
Okay.
whole time. Yes, did that, and we just had a blast. I mean, it was a perfect trip. We came back, we rode the train, we went. I went hunting in England.
What did you hunt?
I hunted red grouse. And
Grouse.
it was driven red grouse, so I went on 2 hunts for 2 days. The hunts were two in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, so 5 to 6 hunts, and I bagged about 14 grouse. And,
Nice.
Yeah. I was with some
Oh,
really
is that good? I
top-notch
have no
horse.
idea.
It is good, and everybody dressed in, it's a dress-up thing. It's not like you just go out there in your fatigues. No one wears camo. They wear tweed and English hats and ties.
So it's a social event.
It's like the House
It
of
is
the
a
Dragon.
social event, and you
The House of
and you,
Dragons.
and you go into on this estate that's thousands of acres, and when you do the driven hunt, there's 50 people beating to chase the grouse out while you're sitting in the butt with
I
your
knew
loader,
there was a handicap for the victim.
with your loader, and waiting for the grouse to come up and shoot. And there's all kinds of freaking rules and how you can do it this way or that way. It's just crazy.
Serve up the dumb ones.
Yeah, right. So it was definitely a good day. Absolutely.
And that's it. Oh, we have a caller.
Oh, we do.
I
Let's
think.
have it. Let's take a caller. Oh, today we're going to be discussing the Queen and the worldwide impact of her passing at 96 years old. I just wanted to head up the topic of that, and
Yeah,
maybe
before
we'll
the
have
caller
some.
calls, let's just get one thing straight. We
Yes.
haven't cared about the Queen of any other country since 1776.
Well, this Queen's pretty special, and
She
I think
is.
not saying she's not
a-
special.
She's
but
a.
she's not
I
American.
learned a lot
Yeah.
in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, and I am wearing my pin from the Royal Yacht Britannia, where I had a private dinner with 2 other couples, and that was on her boat. It was decommissioned in, I think, 1996, and it's now a museum piece with tours, and we were the only 3 couples in there with a private tour, with a dinner, just like the Queen, and toured the whole boat. I felt like her presence was with me.
Big
so I'm
deal.
wearing my pin right now. That's
Wow.
why I'm the big deal.
That's a perfect time to
Yeah.
be over there. What
Yeah.
an apropos
It
time
is.
to be in that area doing the Queen stuff.
Yeah, it was good. So do we have a caller?
Did we?
Okay.
Oh, they're on.
Hey,
Hey.
all right.
Hello, caller.
Welcome to the Legal Fix.
What's your question?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Yeah, great. What's your name?
My name's David Tyler.
Hey,
I'm
Dave.
originally from the UK, but living in Texas now.
David, thanks for calling.
Welcome to the show.
The topic today is we're discussing the Queen and the worldwide impact of her passing at 96 years old. Do you have any thoughts on the Queen and her impact on the world?
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't always been a big, royal fan, but, when you think about it, she's been the Queen for the whole of my adult life. I'm 55 now. And
She was
she's
Queen
always
before you
been
were
there,
born.
and we've always looked on her as a kind of stabilizing influence.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a great figurehead, an ambassador for the country. And she did work really hard. I mean, I'm fascinated by the whole history of the royal family and everything like that. The royals, there's a great historical relevance behind it. But, I mean, she's gone through her ups and downs in popularity, but I think it's still a shock because it's someone that, was always there. And her mother lived to over 100, and I think we expected her to do the same.
Right,
Wow.
right. And and you're right about your reflections on her. She had 15 prime ministers that she served with, or they served with her, and they reported to her. And this is, going back to what Churchill, right?
1952.
Yeah. So, and for my whole adult life too, it's interesting. I was talking to people about the Queen and the royal family, and she made an impact on me. I thought what you said is most relevant. She's such a steady force. I mean, she led the country through World War II, through all the conflicts and all the turmoil that would happen, and she was always a steady hand. That's just my impression from her, and she's going to be sorely missed.
Yeah, I mean, I think she really did bring a stability to the monarchy, because before then, in 1936, we had George V died, and then we had the Playboy Prince, who was the Duke Edward. He became Edward VIII, and he wasn't yet married, but the government were kind of worried because he wanted to marry Wallis Simpson, who was one of those American people, and she was a divorcee.
We can't have
And
any of
so
that.
they weren't going to have any of that. Yeah,
Niche.
Yeah, and then but also they worried that he was a Nazi sympathizer, and it was coming up. War was brewing. Well, that could have been an issue. We don't know, but the official line is they won't let him marry Wallis, so he abdicated. And in that same year, then the Queen's father became George VI. So if that sort of event hadn't happened, the Queen would have never made it to the throne. And then,
David.
of course, he got very sick.
David,
So
let
David.
me ask you this.
Go
We
ahead.
see history sometimes through rose-tinted lenses, and I see the Queen being portrayed in a very Mother Teresa-like light after her life, and I don't know much about her. Is there any inside knowledge in your area about the Queen, things that people know about her, common knowledge in Great Britain that Americans may not know about the Queen?
Sorry, you're cracking up a little bit there. So that's, sorry, repeat some of that again.
Give us an inside scoop on the Queen. We're seeing her presented as a Mother Teresa-like figure, but tell us something that we don't know, maybe that Americans don't know about the Queen.
Yeah, I mean, she was certainly not a Mother Teresa, but she did really keep the royal family together. I mean, I think out of all of them, to me, she was the best one.
She married her cousin, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm, in the family. But I got snubbed on the last funeral, so I probably cut out the will. But no, she, the biggest thing that she was involved in really when Princess Diana died, and I know originally there was public outcry because there really wasn't a lot coming from the palace at that time, and I don't think the Queen was a big fan of Diana.
Was she divorced at the time, Diana?
Yeah, Diana had divorced, and she died in France in a car crash with Dodi Fayed. He was the son of the guy who owns Harrods. So that caused a big stir, and there was a lot of sympathy poured out for her. But the Queen, at that point, the whole monarchy really became unpopular because of the way they weren't really going to do anything. And so at that time, I remember there were debates whether we should actually have a monarchy anymore. That was how strong people felt. But then, of course, the public won out, and the Queen was forced to make a statement. And then I remember I was working at the time in a paint store in England. I was a manager there, and the owners were a family group, and they decided to actually close the store on a Saturday for the funeral out of respect. And a lot of firms did that. They just closed down out of respect. So that really was that was quite shocking, and I think people thought, well, this royal family, they're really not treating people very nicely.
You
Looking at the
mentioned
history of the family,
you mentioned that there had been discussion of do we still need a monarchy, and in
Right.
America, you may be familiar with the outrage at the 1%ers and AOC and the demonizing of the uber wealthy 1% that live better than everyone else. Is there the same sentiment in England about the monarchy?
Yeah, I mean, there was always decisions about that, but I think what happened over the last 20 years, they did a great job of getting back into favor with the people. And now I think people really want the monarchy. They actually had a vote, on it, and the majority of people wanted a monarchy still. Just because I think the tradition and the figurehead, they still remain really popular.
It makes y'all
But when you
unique.
actually look... Sorry, go ahead.
It makes y'all unique.
Well, I think what's important about it, David, is the monarchy in Great Britain's been around for 1,000 years, and if you get rid of that, you're getting rid of something that has been rich in tradition, that really has been preserved historically. And I tell you, I think it would be a huge mistake to do away with the monarchy. I think it's great to be celebrated, and what the tourism and just the fact that they are working family, they work for causes, they work to support Great Britain.
Environmental efforts.
I like them.
Chuck,
like them.
How's he going to do?
Well, yeah,
All
I was
play.
going to ask David a question. How do you think that King Charles will do now? He's been he's been a knight in liege, I think is the terminology for what 60 some years.
In liege, I saw him kneeling.
A liege, right, to the Queen. So how do you think he'll do as king?
I think now that the feeling towards him has grown a lot stronger, because there was a time when I remember that they said, well, we'd rather Prince William come to the throne, because again, the same situation. He was divorced from Diana and all that scandal. He wasn't well liked for a while.
Right.
And then you had the Camilla Parker Bowles, who was a divorcee too. So there wasn't a lot of love for them at one point. But now the Queen named, she said, no, I actually want Charles to succeed. And in a way, when you look at it, it's kind of fair. I mean, he's made his mistakes, but I think he'll do well. And looking today at some of the TV, he did a little walkabout outside Buckingham Palace, and people were really
He's doing
happy
a
and
live speech right now.
see him. So I
actually.
think now, I think he'll do a good job. Like you say, he's been in training for 50-something years. He's 74 now, so ever since he was a boy, really, 74 years, I guess. So I think he'll do well, and people seem to have accepted Camilla now. The hurt from the Diana scandal has kind of died down.
What is
but
the?
I know a lot of people still feel that maybe William should be king.
Yeah, what is the thoughts about Jeffrey Epstein and the fact that the prince was kicked out of the royal palace by the queen back in November of 2021?
That's another one of the hard decisions that she made. That's Prince Andrew, her son, is what you're referring to, Brandon. And
no,
the
that's right.
scandal
The other son.
associated with that. Those scandals themselves, knowing that history, she made some hard decisions with her own family.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, she
It
had
wasn't
to.
Chuck.
I mean, all really
Chuck,
through
it
history,
was
we
Andrew.
see start. It's happened where I think Edward VIII wasn't allowed to marry for love, so he abdicated. Then her sister Margaret wanted to marry again a divorced man, and she was not able to marry him, and they really put their foot down on that one. And she never really had a happy life after that. She was a heavy drinker, heavy smoker. She never really recovered from that.
And there was two of
so
them
the
that
royal
said,
family
we're
is
done with
really
this
quite
stuff,
cool,
right?
really.
Well, the same thing with Charles. Charles had should have married Camilla first, but somehow that the Queen opposed that, right?
Oh,
and
she
then
put the Heisman on
and then that's where Diana came in and said you have to get married. And I
Matched
think
her
it
up.
was kind of like a forced marriage, and it just wasn't for love. And
Look at that
although
hair.
Diana was,
He's got a nice pelt.
he's got a
I'll
good
say
pelt.
that. He's got a
like-
king's
I-
pelt.
I
Killer
like
pelt.
Diana and I like Charles and love the Queen. I think they're and the sentiment for Diana it really touched me when the whole country came out for her. I mean, she was special. There was no doubt about it. And the Queen was slow to react to recognize the significance of her death. And I think Tony Blair was the PM at the time and said, Queen, you have to do something. You need to recognize this,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, it was.
There was such a backlash publicly.
Very
But I
good.
think the thing is with Diana, they were looking for someone for the prince that was going to be, not previously engaged or didn't have any previous history. She was a perfect princess, but really, I don't think she was really cut out for the role, and she wasn't ready to be plunged into that environment where, every move is scrutinized and you have to do things in a certain way, and certain procedures are set in place, certain things you can and can't do, and it all got too much for her, I think. And then I think because Prince Charles, like you said, married really for the appearance of it all, he went back, obviously, to Camilla with her affairs, and that all got rather nasty very quickly. But people still loved her, because of the charity she did. She was actually known to visit hospitals and touch the hands of AIDS patients, so it's showing that, taking the stigma away from that. And I think people loved her for that. She had that common touch. It was before then, family was always a bit distant. So I think they've tried to overcome that a little bit now with William and, the son, and Prince Charles today shaking people's hands in the crowd, trying to get that personal touch again. But that nearly destroyed the monarchy at that time. I remember it was really quite a backlash. But the Queen, you got to give it to her. She rode out all those scandals, and even to the point it must have really distressed her with Andrew being, the little playboy that he is.
Randy
Now
Andy.
Randy Andy.
Randy, he's always been known that way.
yeah,
Randy,
right.
he was married to Fergie. Fergie was his
From the Black Eyed Peas?
No, different Fergie. But she had red hair and and
She was
they have
Fergalicious.
two daughters. They have two daughters. David, right? They have two daughters.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they wear outrageously cool looking hats at events. So. Yeah, the family.
Kept them boys on
David,
rock.
I tell you what, you are the perfect caller. I was hoping someone would call in with knowledge that you had about the Queen and the royal family, and we appreciate your call, and thank you for calling in and sharing with us your thoughts on the Queen's passing.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for having me on
Yeah.
there, and we'll be interested to see what happens now in the next few days with all the procedures, pomp and circumstance that's going to take place, to get Charles on the throne. But it will be a period of mourning now, but there'll be a lot of interesting things happening pretty much every day. There's all these procedures in place now that are set. It's like a plan that's set. So I'd be interested to see that. But thanks for having me on.
Okay,
I
good.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
thank you.
David. Cheers.
Jeremy, this will make you proud.
Brilliant
She had
perspective.
30 corgis in her lifetime.
Cheers, mate.
Whoa.
30
30
corgis.
30
corgis.
corgis.
Oh, corgis.
That's
Oh,
what I
my
asked
gosh.
Bruce yesterday is what happened to the dogs.
Yeah, where's the Doogs? No,
Where are they
that's it.
going, the
That
corgis?
is.
Here's
30
another question for
corgis.
Bruce
Yeah.
and Boy Wonder.
right,
If
let's
we
go.
had the Queen version in America, who would our American figurehead be? Who would we
The
elect?
Kennedys probably would have held that
That was the
title.
Right now,
closest one.
right now.
Jacqueline and John
Pick
Kennedy.
a-
They were the closest.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Jacqueline.
I got to
think
pick
the
one right
Obamas
now.
were
All right,
super popular.
Michelle.
The Obama-
Michelle Obama?
Yeah,
would've
she's.
rocked
I
it
think
in
Michelle
08.
Obama's
They
the
were
queen.
popular.
Okay.
I go for her.
Okay.
Queen Michelle.
You would vote for her, Queen of America?
Queen, I think she's the queen now. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Well,
I
either
like it.
her or
Reaching
Beyonce.
across the aisle.
I mean, either her or Beyonce.
Ooh,
you can have your
they
choice.
could co-queen it.
I think what
that'd be
Beyonce's queen.
nice.
Queen Bee Beyonce, right?
Okay, I
Queen
like
Bee?
it. Hopefully this will get
Who's
our
the
show
guy?
some
Do you have
attention.
something? You have someone better than that? Try
A
to
dude?
match me.
Yeah, no, I don't have anyone better
Okay,
than
I-
Beyonce and
yeah.
I
Michelle.
can't remember
Maybe
the guy's
Barack.
name. I don't recall
here
the
we
guy's
go.
name,
Another
but there-
caller. Another
no, that
caller.
was him finally hanging
Oh,
up.
oh, is it?
We
Okay.
missed
No, there
another
was a.
call.
Oh, we have another
hello.
caller. Hello, caller.
Welcome to the Legal Fix.
What's your question?
Hello, is Juan available?
Juan?
Wait.
One moment.
Yeah,
We'll
one
check.
moment. Let me get him. Yeah, do you have any thoughts on the Queen? Yeah, what do you think?
Runner like Jim Rome. Okay.
Okay.
She's
Wow. Stop
Hey,
calling our
run
phone.
it
let's
back.
do this.
Block
let's,
her number.
Let's do this. We're gonna. All right, we're gonna take a break.
not this
In the
day.
second segment, we're gonna give you a tour of the Tough Law Firm's home stadium, Tough Law at 819 Crossbridge near Hardy Toll Road and I-45.
Sweet.
And then in the third segment, we're going to discuss hot topics
Hot
with Boy Wonder.
topics.
We'll be
Remy's
right
turning
back.
one.
I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
Hey, welcome back to the Legal Fix. All right, we're going to give you a tour of Tough. Everybody's asked us, say, hey, what are your offices like? We've been by there. I heard they were really nice.
People find us on Google. They see a few photos and they want more.
We do mediations. We have a full complement in our Tuscany wine kitchen of all
my
kinds of
goodness.
adult beverages
I
and
don't-
the best iced tea made in the in Spring, Texas, and
That is good iced
one of
tea.
the best, biggest conference rooms. That's the
don't
outside
ever
look.
have to
There's
get rained on.
there's the big conference room. We love that
Porte
room.
cochere.
We do a lot of mediations and a lot of our
Beautiful.
our business law meetings in there, conferences, and it's very accommodating. One of our executive offices, that's one of the partner offices. You guys need to keep your eye on that. Future partners.
Thank you.
And this is the DEFCON Central.
Yeah.
for GI Jerome right there. Here's the layout of the building. So it's a 9,500 square foot building that accommodates a whole array of offices that are conveniently fixed to where you could fit like 3 segments of law firms in the office. And
First class amenities.
it is very first class, and we have a patio that is unbelievable where Stuart Lapp would do his the cooking and his brisket and barbecue as a pit master. And there's the legal team right there. We're getting ready, huddled up for one of our legal team reviews on our cases. So we do a whole team concept on our legal cases where all of the team is working and strategizing to get successful results for our clients.
You'll never call the Tough Law Firm and not be able to reach someone who knows about your case.
That's right.
Because
Everybody.
of the team
We're
concept.
all cross-trained on all the cases, and everybody's briefed on all of each other's cases. The attorneys themselves, we do conferences and file review monthly and get reports on all the status of everything that goes on in the office with all of our client files.
And we host a lot of other big deals, as we can see here. We have a lot of high-profile visitors and guests. at
Everybody
Tough Law.
wants to come to the Tough Law Firm.
And we have
Because it's
families as well.
It's a fun place. It's family friendly. It's dog friendly, And we actually have Lindsay who wants to have Bring Your Dog to Work Day. Oh, look, that's Remy, and Remy just had her first year birthday, right, Remy?
Coming up tomorrow. This is her last day as a 0-year-old.
Okay, so now she's a 1-year-old, and what is happening in Remy's life, Daddy? Tell us all about her.
She's about to be. It was humbling to go through the first year of fatherhood, the most important job that you'll ever have that no one formally trains you for. You look to your own father, obviously your heavenly father, good examples, mentors like you, Bruce. Here's Danny Schrader mixing it up with Remy. This is all of her first, so this was her first time, quote-unquote, voting. She didn't actually cast a ballot, but she did go in the booth with Mom.
You're training her up right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
She's seeing it. This is her first Christmas. But the humbling experience of fatherhood, and really, I take this first birthday to mark a celebration of parenthood, and specifically motherhood, that Ruby has made it through one calendar year of being a 24/7 mom that she had no preparation for, thrown into this job. It never stops. It's amazing. Congratulations, Ruby. I'm so proud of you. You've made it through a year. And I, myself, have kept this little Chia pet alive for a year. So I'm going to mini celebrate that as well. First, okay, so she can throw. She throws the ball for the dog to go fetch.
Okay.
She's throwing balls off the balcony, and this morning she threw a book off, so it's going to be all kinds of bananas in a minute.
Good.
She shoots baskets. She knows swoosh, and she knows in the range of 30 to 50 words.
And she's only 1 year old.
Nice. Yeah, she's
not
approaching one.
Not yet 1 year old. Yeah.
She's approaching one. She has a high level of curiosity, and she will repeat almost any word that you say to her, or at least make an attempt at it.
That is so wonderful. Great picture there. That's a great picture.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hey,
First Easter. Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share that.
What a great family.
Look at that one.
Congratulations.
There's the...
You got kicked out of that photo shoot,
Mom's
right?
birthday. That was our last
Is that the
photo
glamour
shoot.
shot right now?
No, that was that was the one I got booted from.
Oh, you got
kicked out.
I got booted from that one.
Look at that cutie. Yeah.
That was her first 4th of July. First look in the mirror.
Yay.
First bang on an art bench.
Right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Colson Tuff, for setting that up.
You bet.
She's walking now.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is bananas.
Air
Mom's
toss.
face.
Yeah,
Air
Mom was not too happy with that.
She said.
That's hours ago at the Cake Smash photo shoot. Dad got involved.
You did that this morning, Kate.
I did, yes.
Nice.
And to segue back, thank you for the family-friendly environment at Tough Law. We were giving Brandon a hard time earlier about taking care of his dogs, but there's never a moment at Tough Law, if you're a young, hungry attorney out there looking for a job, or a paralegal, or a legal assistant, there's never a moment that you are prevented from connecting with your family.
Yeah.
And I've been able to spend so much of the first year with Remy thanks to that environment at Tough Law, and I really appreciate that.
The kids are always welcome. We love to see the kids, and I'll tell you, Honey Badger, the minute she sees a new baby, it is like she's a magnet.
She'll look at every picture in my phone.
She will. She loves that, and Brandon brings his kids over, and they love her, and she loves them, and we actually set up special time.
Test of people.
Yeah.
Shout out your kids. Who are they? You got 4?
Well, I got 4.
Both you guys.
I got 4 daughters. So Madison, Tara. What did you ask me?
No.
I was asking both of you.
Four.
Madison, Tara,
Abby, and Sydney. Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you thought Sydney was a boy.
Well,
you thought she was a Bruce.
Yeah, Dr. Plabadol, he kind of did that, but I think he was just jacking with me.
But he said he saw.
No, he said, I think I see something there, but it's awfully small. And then Dinah said, let's take after you, Bruce.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, we got that one out.
Brutality.
B-Dub kids. Who do you have in the arsenal?
I got Graham, Liberty, Bear, and Margot. So I've got a litany. Boy, girl, boy, girl.
I'm a rookie. You guys are
planning.
4-kid veterans.
You can keep trying.
Get after it, baby.
I am.
Practice makes babies.
Yeah. If you need help, we'll let you know how to do it. Okay.
Thank you. We'll huddle up.
Right. Yeah. So
we'll help you. No, I'm not helping you.
Fatherhood. Fatherhood. What a blessing.
It is amazing.
The greatest joy in life so far.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Hot topics. Real quick.
Go real
down.
quick.
Super important. Obviously,
1
the
or 2
Queen
minutes.
died. First of all, the
Queen
Queen was reigning for 70 years. By the end of her reign, she still had 15 Commonwealths, which include places like Canada. Okay.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right next door to us.
Imperialism.
Well, and a lot of people don't. And ironically, it's a matriarchy in that society right now, so they want to destroy the matriarchy, I guess. But
Keanu Reeves.
it is what it is.
Too much.
Other big news: Elon Musk, Twitter lawsuit. It is going to trial in October. Twitter won on Tuesday.
Expedite
the motion
it,
to expedite it, and they want to get this over with. Twitter wants him to be forced to buy it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
And one of his
specific
comments-
performance on the
Yes,
contractual
44
terms, and you got to
billion.
pay for that money. Yes,
One of his comments
Don't
was
play with
that
us.
he didn't want to buy it because of World War III, and Twitter rained that around in court all day long.
Whoa.
He was afraid of World War III breaking
Yeah.
out, and therefore he didn't want to buy Twitter and have
Oh
all
my
that money
God,
invested in
he's
Twitter.
He's like
He's in
Twitter is what
trouble.
you want to own in World War III because
Yeah.
everybody's going to go there for information.
My theory is not. It's not even my theory, but my theory is that he wanted to get the fundamentals of the company so that he could go build his own platform. And so he forced
okay.
them to give over all of their sensitive data so that he could decline, pay the $1 billion to decline it, and
Yeah,
then move
walk.
on and build his own.
right.
For $1 billion, he got the blueprint for Twitter.
Yeah, but he's
That NDA
And
better
that's
be
why, and that's why they're
strong.
so.
Yeah.
That's why they're so adamant that he be forced into a specific performance situation.
sure
Better not start another Twitter. He's going to have to wait 15 years.
He's
or
gonna have to
whatever it
wait a
is.
Yeah.
lifetime.
right.
So that's really the biggest one. Hillary Clinton also told Clarence Thomas that he should retire. She asked him, "Don't you want to retire?" So if he dies of suicide, we know why.
It's because of her.
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness.
She shamed him into it. Did she threaten to impeach him too?
Don't
at the
you
same
want to
time?
retire? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have power anymore, but obviously, and then of course Trump. That is still in the air. Trump has won a few things in the lawsuit. He's lost a few things. We'll see where that actually goes as
Right.
it relates to the Mar-a-Lago raid. But I think, as we discussed in the previous episodes, the Presidential Papers Act and several other issues that come into play probably immediately defeat any idea that he stole classified information. Just
They had a whole layout of the documents that were photographed, and they've been releasing these photographs. Now it's either the Trump side or
No, it's the
DOJ or
FBI that
delete.
did it.
So
The DOJ did
they
it.
lay out all these photographs, and then they detail all the information, and none of it, even though it was labeled top secret, it was all identified. It wasn't top secret documents. This is like just crazy.
Bush took tens of thousands of documents.
Right.
Obama took hundreds of thousands of documents with him.
And speaking of Hillary Clinton, she took and had a server
Private server.
with all of her emails
And-
and all the classified documents, including the
So-
Benghazi documents, on
Yes.
her private
Is
server.
any of this-
not even with the and
I
that
knew-
somehow's not a crime.
I
don't
know
get
an
it.
economist. I know an economist that's an expert witness that was arguing with me about this, about how Trump is this terrible human that needs to be rotting in jail
That's
for what he did
the
by taking
world.
these documents. And I was
Yeah.
like, don't you recall James Comey, the director of the FBI, stating that dozens of the documents in Hillary's private server were classified as either secret or top secret? The highest
And
the
then
highest level
the
of
thing
security
the thing
possible.
about it is that everybody goes so, and I said, well, do you
What
know
does
how
it
they
matter
do you
now,
know how
right,
they
Hillary?
discovered them? They were on Anthony Weiner's
Weiner's.
computer with his wiener.
And where,
okay,
where
and,
were they
and it was
saying?
his,
I love that
They
guy's
were saying
videos.
insurance policy.
it
That was the name of the
it-
folder.
it
Insurance
was
policy.
Insurance policy. And
That was his insurance
his
policy
wife
for his
was
wiener.
his wife was the chief deputy for Hillary
Um,
Clinton, and he was
rabbiting.
using her laptop for his photo sneaks. You know,
Whoever stumbled upon
Yeah.
that had a heart attack.
Oh,
when
they did. They
opened
just
up the
went.
insurance
No.
Oh
policy.
my
No.
God! No,
No,
they
no,
seized
worse,
it in the
worse,
criminal
worse.
investigation
Worse.
against him.
Breitbart, Andrew Breitbart was the one that caught the wiener on Twitter.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay.
Wiener's
Thought-
wiener on
he
Twitter.
saw Wiener's wiener.
Breitbart was
Yeah.
the one that screenshotted it.
Right.
He
Y'all love
died-
this back and forth.
He
Yeah.
died.
Republicans versus
He died
Democrats.
a few months later of a heart attack while he was jogging.
Oh, another
Is-
Clinton. Another Clinton.
Trump is such a
assassination.
lightning
Yeah.
rod. Is
Yeah.
he responsible for any of this because his attitude is "F you, come get him"? I'm going to beat
Thank
you.
God he's got
I mean,
that attitude.
everyone
He'd be
wants to take him
buried.
down.
Yeah, but he'd be buried right now. Do you
They
know that
would-
he's been
they
fighter?
would've
He's
taken
a
him down
street
either
fighter
way.
his whole life.
Absolutely.
Anyone else who had the lawsuits, the raid on him, the FBI, the constant attacks, everybody after him, it would destroy a normal man.
Look at his
He's like-
attorney, Cohen. Cohen bowed out
if you're
quickly.
Kimbo Slice and the other team is walking the streets, they're going to want to take a shot at you. I'm just saying
right.
he invites that
Yeah,
type of stuff.
Well, of course he does.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. All right. All right. We're done. Hey, I want to thank you guys. Hey, thanks
Thank
for
you.
covering. We appreciate you.
Welcome
Thanks
back.
For yeah, I'm so glad to be back. I'm glad everything is still all set up. and operational and running. And thank you all for watching The Legal Fix. Brought to you by the Tough Law Firm. Call us at 281-681-0808 or visit toughlawfirm.net or hit us up on the comments page.
Catch past episodes and highlights on our website and YouTube channel. Connect with us on Facebook, Insta, and listen live on Spotify and 91.1 FM, The Boss, Fridays at noon.
Connect with us on Facebook and Insta and live on...
Next.
I already did that. You already did it. Oh, all right.
This is the Big Deal Bruce Tough. I'm Boy Wonder Brandon Riley, and this is Golden Boy G.I. Jerome Jeremy Hall. See you next week on The Legal Fix.
Yeah.